The ongoing turmoil in the Middle East has captured headlines and shaken the world with its far-reaching implications. Join us as we embark on a journey to understand the complexities, the human stories, and the potential ramifications of this conflict. In this video, we'll break down the current state of the Hamas and Israel war, exploring its origins, the impact on the people involved, and the broader implications for regional and international stability. So what's really happening on the ground? Why does it matter to all of us? And how did it even start? Let's get started. And don't forget to let us know down in the comments what topics you'd like us to cover next. What are the origins of the conflict? The conflict is a complex story between two deeply entrenched narratives. On one side, you have Israel, a nation born out of persecution with the dream of creating a secure homeland for Jewish people. Their ties to the land stretch generations, a profound connection etched into history. And on the other side, the Palestinian perspective paints a contrasting picture. For them, the birth of Israel in 1948 was nothing short of a catastrophe, the Nakba. It marked their dispossession and crushed dreams of having their own state. The aftermath of this pivotal moment saw a massive exodus. An estimated 700,000 Palestinians, nearly half of the Arab population in British-ruled Palestine, were forced to flee or driven from their homes. Their journeys led them to Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and even closer to the heart of the conflict, Gaza, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem. Now, it's essential to understand that Israel, a steadfast ally of the United States, vehemently disputes the claim that they expelled Palestinians from their homes. They argue that they were thrust into a war zone, fending off attacks from 5 Arab states just a day after their state's birth. Formal peace remained elusive while the fighting halted with armistice pacts in 1949. Some Palestinians who chose to stay behind during the war have become the Arab-Israeli community, comprising roughly 20% of Israel's population. Their existence within the boundaries of Israel adds another layer of complexity to this multifaceted conflict. What major wars have been fought since then? In 1967, tensions boiled over as Israel launched a preemptive strike against Egypt and Syria, igniting what would become known as the Six-Day War. Israel's lightning-fast military campaign led to the occupation of the West Bank, Arab East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights, which it had captured from Jordan and Syria. Just 6 years later, in 1973, Egypt and Syria boldly moved by attacking Israeli positions along the Suez Canal and the Golan Heights. This conflict, known as the Yom Kippur War, tested Israel's mettle. Remarkably, within 3 weeks, Israel managed to push back both armies. Israel expanded its involvement in the region in 1982 with an invasion of Lebanon. This led to a dramatic 10-week siege, culminating in the evacuation of thousands of Palestinian fighters under the leadership of Yasser Arafat via the sea. In 2006, Lebanon again became a battleground when Hezbollah militants captured 2 Israeli soldiers, triggering a fierce war as Israel retaliated. The Gaza Strip, captured from Egypt in 1967, has seen its fair share of flare-ups. Despite Israel's withdrawal in 2005, conflicts erupted in 2006, 2008, 2012, 2014, and most recently in 2021. These clashes involved Israeli air raids, Palestinian rocket fire, and sometimes cross-border incursions by either side. In addition to these wars, 2 Palestinian intifadas, or uprisings, have significantly impacted the region. The first, from 1987 to 1993, and the second, which took place between 2000 and 2005, involved waves of Hamas suicide bombings against Israelis. These historical events serve as a backdrop to the ongoing complexities of the Israel-Palestine conflict. What attempts have there been to make peace? In 1979, a significant breakthrough occurred when Egypt and Israel put pen to paper, signing a historic peace treaty. This landmark agreement marked the end of 3 decades of hostility and set the stage for future peace negotiations. Fast forward to 1993, when Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, and the Palestinian leader, Yasser Arafat, took a meaningful step forward. They shook hands on the Oslo Accords, a pivotal agreement that aimed to grant limited autonomy to Palestinians. 1994 brought another beacon of hope when Israel signed a peace treaty with Jordan, solidifying a regional commitment to peaceful coexistence. However, not all efforts were met with success. The Camp David Summit 2000, hosted by then U.S. President Bill Clinton, saw Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak and Yasser Arafat struggle to find common ground and reach a final peace deal. Despite the best intentions, the negotiations proved elusive. In 2002, an intriguing proposal emerged from the Arab world. The Arab Peace Initiative offered Israel the prospect of normalized relations with all Arab countries, in exchange for a complete withdrawal from the territories acquired during the 1967 Middle East War. This initiative also called for creating a Palestinian state and a just solution for Palestinian refugees, outlining a comprehensive path towards peace. Since 2014, peace efforts have hit a roadblock, with talks between Israelis and Palestinians in Washington failing to make headway. The landscape became even more complicated when the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump broke from decades of U.S. policy by refusing to endorse the two-state solution, which envisions a Palestinian state established in the territories captured by Israel in 1967. With shifting political winds, the arrival of U.S. President Joe Biden brought new hopes and ideas. The focus now lay on securing a grand bargain in the Middle East. This includes normalizing relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia, the custodian of Islam's two holiest shrines. It's a vision of peace that extends beyond borders and holds the potential for transformative change. However, the recent conflict adds a diplomatic twist to the narrative, as it poses a challenge for Riyadh and other Arab states, including some Gulf nations neighboring Saudi Arabia that have signed peace agreements with Israel. Pursuing peace in the Middle East remains a dynamic and evolving journey that demands constant attention and diplomacy. The current state of war. Recently, a profoundly concerning situation has unfolded in the Middle East. On October 7, 2023, a significant conflict erupted when Hamas militants launched an unprecedented attack on Israel. The consequences have been tragic, with more than 1,200 Israelis losing their lives and another 150 being held as hostages. In response to this grave threat, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared that Israel was officially at war. This declaration triggered the mobilization of approximately 360,000 army reserves, a clear indicator of the seriousness of the situation. Israel swiftly retaliated with thousands of airstrikes on various cities within the blockaded Gaza Strip, resulting in the loss of more than 1,000 Palestinian lives and the destruction of numerous buildings. Internationally, the United States took swift action by deploying 2 carrier strike groups near Lebanon, a strategic move to discourage further escalation by regional actors. While the Lebanese militant organization Hezbollah did launch rockets into northern Israel, they have yet to initiate a full-scale offensive against Israel. On October 11, 2023, a significant development occurred as Prime Minister Netanyahu and opposition member of parliament Benny Gantz joined forces to form a national unity government. This government's mandate is to oversee the ongoing war and the anticipated Israeli ground invasion of Gaza. The human cost of this conflict continues to mount. Since Israel declared war on Hamas, the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza reports a staggering toll of at least 1,537 Palestinians killed and an additional 6,612 injured. These numbers reflect the profound suffering endured by the people of Gaza. The impact of the conflict extends beyond Gaza, with at least 36 individuals losing their lives in the West Bank and East Jerusalem and more than 650 sustaining injuries, as reported by the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Ramallah. In this ongoing tragedy, international citizens are also being affected. According to U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, at least 25 Americans died in Israel due to the conflict. Meanwhile, in Canada, the government has reported the loss of one of its citizens, with 4 individuals from Canada currently reported as missing following the Hamas attack on Israel. Amidst the deafening roar of airstrikes, Gaza's cry for help echoes across borders. Hamas, in a desperate plea, calls upon relief organizations worldwide. The situation is dire. Starvation looms, and fuel reserves run on borrowed time. In the wake of Hamas's terror attacks, Israel's response, withholding essential supplies, adds another layer to this harrowing story. The global community is not indifferent. Russia's foreign ministry vehemently denounces Israel's missile strikes on Syria as a gross violation of international law. Middle East envoy Mikhail Bogdanov calls for an immediate end to hostilities and the resumption of food and medicine deliveries to Gaza. The United Kingdom also stepped up, promising a significant support package to quell the escalating conflict. The situation is profoundly distressing and serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need to resolve this conflict for the people directly involved and the international community. So, what is the key to resolving this conflict? Please let us know in the comment section below, and remember to like and share. Also, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on the latest uploads on the channel. As always, see you in the following video.